Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Pommel Horse. As Dr. Hahn said, I'm also available for any questions that you might have for Pommel Horse, so come see me afterwards or send me an email here. I will be happy to answer. Here are the discussions we will have today. We will talk about McCulloch scissors, and then extension and hip brakes, scissors to handstand, angular deviation, and then handstand dismounts. So in newsletter number 1, we made a small adjustment to the deductions of the McCulloch scissors. Yes, if the gymnast sits on the horse, it will be non-recognition and 0.5 deduction. However, if there's a small arm bend or a small touching of the horse, it will only be a 0.1 deduction for each. So here's the video from the newsletter. This one, the gymnast puts his weight with his legs on the horse, so 0.5 and non-recognition. This one is much better, but there's a small arm bend, so still recognition, but only 0.1 deduction. This one is a little hard to see, but his leg was touching the horse, not sitting on the horse, just touching. So only 0.1 deduction. And this one was very good. So no deduction and recognition. Next is extension. Many gymnasts perform pommel horse with very few form or execution reductions. However, the very good gymnast has very good extension, which means straight body and also amplitude, where the entire body, the torso, is well extended outside the arms. If there is no extension, it's a 0.1 deduction for each element. So here's a picture version of this gymnast. His torso is away from his arms, so there's a very open angle here. This is very good. This gymnast, his torso is between his arms, so that is a lack of extension and should be deducted 0.1 for each element. Here's a video of good extension. Like I said before, the gymnast's chest is away from his arms and straight body. Also the same, very straight body and very high amplitude, so no deduction for extension. Also in flares, must be extended. So here the body is straight and the shoulders are away from his arms. So this is good extension. Another example of very good extension. So to reward the gymnast with good extension, you must deduct the gymnasts that do not have good extension. So in this example, you see that the gymnast's chest is between his arms and he's piked. So that will be a 0.1 deduction for each element. Hip breaks occur when the gymnast is in the normal position. However, they lose balance, and to correct, they will pike and then open again. Every time that occurs, it's a 0.1 or 0.3 deduction. So here are some examples. Try to see the pike. Many times it happens on direct Stockleys. So here the body is straight, but now there is a pike. So 0.1 deduction. Again, there's a pike, and now he's straight. Another example, on the sewn, and also the Stockleys. There's another one. The gymnast is very, very piked. So in this case, it's possible for 0.3 deduction. Okay, next is scissors to handstand. Here are the criteria. It must be done with swing and no strength. Hip bend and strength is 1 deduction of 1, 3, and 5. If the gymnast has a hip bend of more than 90 degrees as they go to the handstand, then it's 0.5 deduction and non-recognition by the D jury. If the gymnast lowers their legs, it's 0.1, 0.3, 0.5. The legs must come together at the top. And also watch for the hand change when the gymnast has 2 hands on 1 pommel. Here's some video examples. This is pretty good. No deduction for going to the handstand. But you can see that he changes his hand there. So that's a 0.1 deduction. This gymnast has a little bit more pike, so 0.1 for hip bend, and no changing of the hands, so no deduction there. This one, a bigger hip bend, so 0.3, and a hand change. This one was interesting. The scissor must go to the handstand, but it is above 45 degrees, so we recognize it, but deduct for strength and for lack of handstand. Here, this is too much strength, so 0.5 and non-recognition, and then also for the hand change. This gymnast goes directly to a very severe bent body, and so this will be 0.5 and non-recognition. And then in the code of points, it is now written, if the gymnast is attempting scissor to handstand and the leg goes between the pommels, it is also 0.5 and non-recognition. Now we will talk about angular deviation on pommel horse. This is nothing new. All elements must be in a distinct side support or cross support. Anything in the middle is a deduction for angular deviation of 135. And the way you look for angular deviations, this is a freeze frame, a Magyar travel. You can look at the hands. When the hands are in the middle, they should be parallel, so in this case they are not parallel. Also, you can see that the shoulders are not square to the horse. Here's a picture of a real gymnast where this gymnast is very straight. The hands are parallel, the shoulders are straight, and then the gymnast over there, the shoulders are turned, and the hands are not parallel. So here's some video of a good one. So here, the hands are parallel and the body is straight. The shoulders stay straight even during the travel. Hands are parallel between the pommels. And he finishes straight. And remember, there's only one deduction per element. So no more 333. It's just one deduction for the Magyar and then one deduction for the Sabato. But in this case, this gymnast has no deduction. Gymnasts are now doing a step over both pommels. And same thing, it must be straight. And in this case, this is pretty good because the shoulders are pretty straight. The hands finish parallel. Also in flares, they step over both pommels. This gymnast is straight, no deviation. This gymnast does Magyar Sabato, and you can see that there's a small deviation. You can see the number on his back, which means he's turned. His hands are not quite parallel, and you can see his back, so he's not straight. So this is either 1, maybe 3 for a deviation. So total 1 and 1. And also, if they do an extra circle and it's deviation, a deduction for the circle. Here the gymnast travels over both pommels forward and backward. Angular deviation on the circle. Maybe one, but maybe this is straight. Here this is a small angular deviation. Here this is 3/10, maybe 5, because you can see his entire back. This one is normal. Before it would be 3-3-3. Now it's just a single 3/10 deduction. Okay, now we will move to handstand dismounts. Again, must be performed with swing without strength. No hesitation. Hip bending is allowed. Lowering of the legs up to 45, 135. And if a mistake occurs after the gymnast goes to the handstand, then for the D jury, they will recognize it as the value of the handstand, but no upgrade. And then if they have a mistake, you will deduct for the mistake. So here are some video examples. This one, the legs are past his wrists, and he must use significant strength to get to the handstand, so 0.5. This one was better. He has significant hesitation, so 0.3, but this dismount will be recognized. This one, there was a small hesitation, so this one will be a 0.1 deduction. And this dismount is perfect, no deduction. This gymnast attempted to go to the handstand, but made a mistake during the upgrade. So we give him a C value for the handstand, stop lead of the handstand, and then in this case 0.3 for unsteadiness. Okay, now we will continue to judges' practice. And remember, extension and hip breaks. Please pay attention. Extension for every element, and then hip breaks every time it occurs. We will also be using Mentimeter.
What's this on?
Yeah, okay, begin. Okay, we're going to begin the quiz.
Submit.
Okay. The range was 4.1 to 4.7. The correct score was 4.4. Watch out for extension 10 times. Even though there are eight elements counting, he has many circles that do not count, but they can be deducted for lack of extension. Several hip breaks, angular deviation, and a fall.
Yeah.
So we will now see the replay. So hip break, extension for each circle, legs apart, another extension, deviation, legs apart, deviation,